Hi patrons, thanks for your support. Welcome Christine as a new subscriber. Thank you for your support. Right, okay, mountains seem to be popular, so I'll do something with some sort of mountain in the background, I think. One of my YouTube viewers asked me how this Fabriano 33 pounds compares with Bockingford. Well, I had to point out that this is a studio practice paper and there's no reflection on Fabriano. Fabriano makes some fabulous papers. And this is their cheap studio paper, which is very, very adequate for practicing on. I'm used to it, so I can take a few liberties with it. It does tend to go to mud if you're not careful. It doesn't like being overworked. So it's quite a spontaneous paper, but for about £33 for 100 sheets, including post and package, it's very good value for money. And I paint over it in oils as well, or I'll paint on a fresh sheet, primed. Okay, so let's get a bit of the usual raw sienna in. Just I will put some water in, but I want to put a bank of trees or something, but with the mountain as a backdrop. And I like burnt sienna in my skies, and I don't like pulling out all the hairs from my hake. Right, then we're going to. Oh, we've got a bit of paper there. Yuck. Yeah. So where I clean the palette, the paper disintegrates. Now I've got blue fingers. But it doesn't matter with the watercolour, this is oil. I've been a bit of a pickle with it because I'm cooking about 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon for friends. I like cooking. Took it up late. My wife's a brilliant cook. The son, who's a great pastry chef, very well known. But I took this up by barbecuing, and then we took up camping. We were in our 40s then. We took up camping. We don't do it now, we're too old. But I did all the cooking when we were camping because I thought it was fun. Outside with barbecue, the charcoal, along with the neighbours. So we'll see what happens with that. A bit of red in there. So there's a strange sky, but we've got a little bit of time with this being open before it starts to misbehave. So we'll dry it. No, I have any idea how that's going to turn out. But I dry it now. I'll mute you. So I'll continue with my story. So bit by bit, I started to do more. My wife showed me how to do things, and I learnt to do crab linguine, recently paella, all sorts of curries, mostly now using a jar, cheat. I'm expert at one pot curry. Well, in curry, you've got a pot for the rice, but I do get a lot of pleasure out of it. But I do sometimes have a disaster. But well, there we are. Boring, I know, but my mentor originally, or the chap that I followed, or the great chef that I followed very early on, was Keith Floyd. Sadly, he drank and smoked himself to death several years ago. Much missed, very entertaining. And he always had a glass of wine in his hand when he was cooking, glass of red or white. And that's why I'm now an alcoholic, because I always have a drink in my hand or near my hand, which I can swig as I cook. I don't smoke anymore. I have packed that up about 16 years ago. So that's the pleasure. I'll put a bit of background, bit of alizarin in there. I want it to show. I don't want it to dissolve into the background. So let's start. Come down there. This is where it goes muddy now. Well, let's just come up here a little bit. Try and get a pleasant shape, but don't put your main mountain right in the middle. Keep away from the middle. It's that golden section, third up, third in, or thereabouts. I mean, rules are made to be broken, of course, and I'm only talking about representational art, not abstracts. You can do what you like with abstracts. Right, so there's my mountain. I'm going to give that a dry. I'm going to cover a lot of this with trees and stuff, and sort of my peninsulas, which I like to do. I can make fun out of these. And then, so there we go. Just waggle the brush. Big trees coming up here and along there. I would put an island. Let's put an island in there. A bit of blue in that mix. Right, get in there because otherwise that doesn't get painted and it shows in the mount. Oh, let's get some nice greens in now. Marsh grass. And okay, I'll scrape a little bit of that out. Let's get a bit of cloth. Well, not scrape out, lift out. Just a little bit here, just to separate the bank. A little bit of dark green in the bottom of that now, I think. My Payne's Grey is very, very liquid at the moment. I've got the same sort of tones back. Okay, now we get a big bush and tree or something up there going over some of that mountain. And I do like autumn colours, but not into autumn, you'll be into summer. Yeah, hairs. A bit darker in there. Plenty of sienna. Okay, that's going downhill too much there, so let's take that up a bit higher. I'm Not too worried about where the light's coming from. The shadow in there. I'm going to lift out some of this. Like a card. I'll just okay. Right, can overdo that, and I just have. So, I'll cover a little bit there. I will put some blue. I'll use my medium height for that. You don't have to use. Gosh, look at that. Really sorry, boy. I'm getting carried away with the Payne's Grade because I've just had a delivery of a couple of 21mm tubes. All my paints are 21mm tubes with Cotman. They are very reliable. I've never had a problem with them. I've been using them. This palette for probably 35 years, 34 years, since I saw a video of Ron Ransom, the blue. And then we'll just put a little bit of a bank over there. So I don't want to go uphill here. I've certainly gone downhill. I keep punching, well not punching, my high pressure tyres on my bike. And I've had one replaced for free, but I went up again to the bike shop, local, and said, I said, well, I don't know why it's happening. Are you not, it's got that little valve, that loose valve, and if you bend it, it's very tricky. But it shouldn't affect the tyre itself because it's got a nut that screws down and keeps the valve in place. I reckon it's a wrong batch, a faulty batch. But then I walked out of the shop. I almost forgot my credit card. But also I had to go back for the tyre, the box with the tyre, the inner tube in. Age, you see, comes to us all. I'm getting very forgetful. So I forget sometimes to unmute you. Right, okay, now then. We'll put a bit of greenery on here. Not a lot. I want to show a little bit of shadow or reflection there, but I'm not sure whether to just dry brush it, because you don't always see reflection on distant water. It's wind ruffled, which does help the artist out quite a bit. I've got a cup of tea and I forgot to drink. I don't know, I hope you can see this, it just about shows. I might just try a bit of the dark light and sound of this. Bear with me. It's just darken a touch. A bit better. I don't really want to go over it, but I suppose I should really, to see what you think. Yeah, I think I'd ruin it if I try to go over it. dry. So some of the pump, but I'm going to give that a dry now, so I can bit of a dry brush. Right, here we go. Dry brush, a bit of that Payne's grey, touch of red, or palette grey really. No, I'm going to leave that. I do not want to do any more to that. I've got the clouds reflected now. What I'm going to do though is when I find my rigger, which is probably on the floor. Oh dear. You see, this is what happens when you get old. I want to do the birds. Oh, there it is on the floor. I've got a little roller table here, metal table, with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16 brushes on it. And it's only about 18 inches by 15 inches. Right, now what you want in this is a bird or two. Because the birds are solid, to state the obvious, but they link the sky to the land. Oh, let's put in a bit of a signature because that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got reflections using the small hake. Where is it? Oh, it is. It's almost dry brush, just going up, flicking up, so you get all that separation of the hairs, and then do the same down. And I've had to cheat and just put that in because I forgot to do that. Anyway, we've got these lovely trees. Just fiddling about now. Fill that in. Let's put some neat cad yellow. You can use your paints as a gouache. Well, I say gouache. By just not diluting them. No, just put a little bit of texture in here. It all helps. Right, I'll put that in a mount and see what it's like. And then I'll do one for YouTube, and then that will be it. I don't think I have time for tomorrow. A dear friend of ours, Fred Gillespie, one of the best figurative watercolour painters in Britain. Very successful. He's 87 now and he's dying of cancer. So I'm sure some of you can go and Google his watercolours on Google. He's having a real tough time now. So we're going to go and see him and have lunch, and I've got to sort of do a barbecue. There we are. So just brighten up a touch. Just a wee bit. That's about right. I always put these on my Joe Busher artist page on Facebook. So with a photograph by my phone. There we are. So that's quite a nice little one for Saturday morning. Hope you like it, folks. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.